grew up watching several Paul Reiser shows. Big fan of all of your work. And Jason, you're talking about a movie that your family used to watch.
Oh, Bye Bye Love is one of my favorite movies. That is such an underrated movie that everybody needs to go and see. That is everybody that sees that says the same thing.
I always hear divorced dads always come over and go, "Oh man," because in the movie I played. You know who the girl was? Eliza Dushku.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
Very
Okay.
young.
Beautiful young. Yeah. And she was, and there was this scene where she's just being really bratty, and you see the father just, you just want to stop short of throttling your child.
Right.
And over the years, so many divorced dads come over and they go, "That scene really hit me, man," because it's just you're trying, and it's really all you can do. And that was the message of that movie. Just keep trying.
That's a great
and
movie.
you hit the wall, and you go, "Yeah, keep trying
Love
harder."
it.
Well, I've got actually some people were asking some questions. A lot of huge fans. I said, ask him about working with Bruce Willis on Mad About You and in the movie called The Story of Us. Somebody'd like to get your comments.
I totally forgot about that one. Wow.
How about that? You're just getting
I'm
in.
now
It's
at
like
that
it's-
age where like, oh yeah, I did a picture with Lana Turner on the Paramount. I had a 3-picture with Republic Pictures. It was a talkie.
It was a talkie.
I totally forgot about it. Yeah, Bruce was a buddy, and I actually knew him for years, and somehow. I remember it being odd. I think he actually said, "Hey, why don't you ever have me on your show?" And what, are you kidding? Oh, yeah.
Right, yeah.
And so for years we kept trying to find the right thing, and it was the final season. No, it was it was the birth of the baby, so it was the 6th year.
Okay.
And we found this thing, and he came and he played with us for 2 days, and he was awfully funny. And then that was the highest rated show ever. And then he went on to be a big star. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
So
Look at
Bruce,
what you do.
You won that one shot on Mad About You, and you.
Bruce Willis, Greg Effigan.
Yes. And Bruce was.
He seems like the kind of guy that would really like to just kind of go off the cuff. Is he a big into just impromptu, like you just kind of roll with it?
Yeah, he was totally roll with it, and he was totally into just tell me what you want to do, where do you want to play, and that was actually one of my favorite moments. I remember just weeping with laughter because he played it so straight. The bit was he had gotten hit on the head filming the 9th version of Die Hard. I think it was called Die Already. Was the
yeah,
and he was filming. He got hit on the head, and they brought him to the hospital. And the same day that we were in the hospital having our baby, so I ran into him, and we got into this sort of escapade. We got lost in the halls, and he was a little loony because he'd been banged on the head.
Yes, okay, yeah. Now I do remember this. Yes,
he's trying to give me all his fathering advice, and he goes, "Listen, this is the most important thing. When they eat grapes, you got to cut them in half, man. That is you got to cut those grapes in half.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah, guy, rule 1. And then we bond a little bit, and he goes, "Hey, man," and he gives me a little. He goes, "Can I give you a hug?" I said, "Yeah." He gives me this nice bro hug, and he looks at me, and he's still very close to my face. He goes, "Can I give you a little kiss?" I went, and he kisses me on the cheek, and you think it's over, and he long pause. He goes, "You want to make out a little bit?" and it just killed me. Because he was so tender and so straight. He goes, like he really wanted it.
Oh,
you
yeah.
wanna make out a little bit? No, he goes, "Okay, that's cool." Very funny guy.
You've had so many great projects. You work with so many awesome people throughout the career. We're talking with Paul Reiser.
Can you believe
here.
it?
I know. It's really amazing.
Wild.
It's really amazing. Do you have a favorite moment, a favorite project that you've done when you look through, everything?
I was talking before about the Peter Falk thing was certainly one of my favorites because I had wanted for so long to make specifically that movie with specifically Peter Falk, and that I got to do it was a dream. But I'll tell you, on Mad About You, we used to just pinch ourselves because we were laughing. We were working with all these legends and people. We would get guest stars, and we had Carol Burnett and Carol O'Connor and Carl Reiner and Sid Caesar and Mel Brooks, and like, my God. And we would these were people that we idolized, and we grew up, and they were coming to be to our house to play with us.
Right.
And we were never not aware of how cool it was. And we had Yoko Ono, which was the coolest thing. And we had Yoko came on the show because we had done.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me get you a pause. We got our syndicated stations joining us right now.
Oh, wait. Bring them into this.
Yeah, we got Paul Reiser. He's hanging out with us a little bit longer here in the studio, just talking about your favorite project and everything else that you've gotten to work with. You're mentioning Yoko Ono and some of the other people that you've been with.
Yeah. We had, and Yoko was this kind of, and we had this moment where we had the end of the show. We used to have these little tags that would be under the credit and usually fooling around, and we couldn't come up with it. I said, we have Yoko. What should we do? What should we? And finally she said, I always promised John that whenever we could do a commercial for peace, we would do it. So how about we're all in bed and we just say, give peace a chance. We go, yeah, okay, yeah, we'd like to do that. And we're Helen Hunt and I are in bed, and Yoko's in the middle, and we're just reading the Sunday paper, and she just looks in the camera and goes, give peace a chance. And then we go, that's all we're saying. And we just went, oh, wow, how fun is this?
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is very cool. Now, you have been involved with a project that a lot of people were talking about. In fact, just yesterday, Jimmy Kimmel was on. He's always ribbing on Matt Damon.
Yes,
and
right.
behind the Candelabra, they gave away a copy of that on his NBA special last night. And they said, well, how did they phrase it? I think they said Matt Damon's most true-to-life role.
Yeah, it was.
He plays Liberace's lover in Behind the Candelabra.
He was great in that. And I'll tell you, I had this tiny little part. I play Matt's lawyer, so I'm in it for like 2 minutes. But just working, I worked like a day and a half with these guys. But they're so good. Michael Douglas and Matt Damon. Go, okay, there's a reason these guys are just huge stars. I mean, Matt would be talking like this, and then action, and he's in this thing, and both of them are so great because they could have been sort of caricatures. They could have been, just very broad, and
sure.
They weren't. They were really. It was really heartfelt, and it was really, at the end of the movie, sort of the takeaway is like, oh man, it's so sad. These guys were both so needy. They both wanted something that the other guy had, and but Matt was great. And I brought my kids to the set because I had to, and I had to be the the idiot guy who said, "Can you just take a picture of my kids?" Because they're huge Bourne movie fans. He could not have been more gracious, man. He was,
I believe that.
Took all the time, answered every ridiculous Bourne question my kids were throwing. Yeah, he was great.
So even with both of those guys, Matt Damon and Michael Douglas,
they needed me. They to get the film made. They did need me.
It's like we're not doing this without Paul Reiser.
No, it's not enough star power, they felt.
Because I've heard some people are always about staying in character. Both of those guys, they just are Matt Damon and then camera on, and then they switch right into it.
Yeah, I've never had that experience that you're talking about. I've heard about it too.
Yeah, okay.
These guys, and they walk around and don't talk, don't use his real name.
Right.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Okay. No. You've been with guys that are actually pros. They can hit action and they can actually go into it.
Yeah, and they just turn it on. You go, how do you do that? Like, it makes more sense. Like, don't ask me about my real life. I have to be Beethoven, but no.
You're doing the stand-up now. You're getting back into that a little bit. What other kind of projects?
I missed it. Yeah. I had not been, I tell you the truth, this was the least planned thing. I've never had any plan, but I had, I started as a stand-up, and then everything else was an accident, and got Diner and got these movies and got TV shows, and in my head, I always wanted to get back to stand-up. Yeah. And I just never, I forgot about it. About a year or two ago, I emceed some charity event, and it was just, that's kind of easy. You just tell a few jokes and you bring up the mayor. But this was like a great night, great laughs, and I got off stage going, I forgot. That's fun. So I just started going to the clubs. I started from scratch. I said, let me come down and do 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and I just said, great, and got it, and let's call whoever calls, I'm going.
Yeah. Do you write every day? Is that how you do it?
I try. But the real thing, you write a little bit, but then you got to get on stage, and because that muscle of doing it does atrophy. And somebody said, "Hey, did it come right back? Is it like riding a bike?" I said, "No, it's like pushing a bike up a hill with your eye. It's harder. It's
much harder. That's not easy at all. I tried that.
No, and it's very painful. But it's great. And there's this thing. It's a different feeling now than when I did it. It was 20 years ago last. But now people, people know Matt about you. They know me. If they're coming to see me, at least they know me. Yeah. And it's like getting together with old friends. It just is a great feeling, and I'm having so much more fun than I remembered.
Do you ever get nervous? You've been doing it for so long, show business. Do you ever get nervous before you go on stage?
Every time. Yeah. It's not nervous. It's sort of, nervous energy. It's excitement. And I do, and I love when, the day that I have a show, it's like that afternoon, I'm, okay, here we go. It's tonight. It's like, and I remember that feeling in college. We used to do, I would do a play, and that was the first time I thought, I think I might want to be in show business thing. Yeah. Because the play was at night, and like 12 o'clock, I'm going, okay, 7 more hours, 6 more hours, and I get to get that laugh. And
It drove you.
Still get excited. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Paul Reiser is going to be at the Improv this weekend. Get your tickets right now. 561 number. It's 833-1812. It was just so I can't even tell you. I could sit here and do this all day. I wish.
Well, you know what? I got 11 more hours till showtime, and I gotta.
Trust me, I would take you every minute all the way up there. I could just sit here and keep talking to you.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
We're gonna pass him off. It was such an honor to have you in here, Paul Reiser. Make sure you go check him out.